Okay, I want to introduce a very special guest. So we have been trying back and forth to get on her calendar because she's a busy lady. So, but here's the cool thing. I'm an Overture. My name is Golfer Pete, and I usually do golf. You can look in my background and see probably golf. Yes. So, but we're going to do it from Kennesaw Happenings today. And we have Varonica Richardson, who's with the Red Cross, and she's going to introduce herself and really share with who she serves out there. And then we're going to just have a conversation to help you understand how you can support her. So, Veronica, thank you so much for being on. Can you just share your name? Yeah, and who you serve and who you are? Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you for having me, Pete. I know we have been talking back and forth for a while. My name is Varonica Richardson, and I am an account manager with the American Red Cross. So what I basically do is look for sponsors like yourself to help me spread our mission of saving lives. And by that, we're just looking for people to donate blood. I know a lot of people, that's not on the top of their to-do list, but, when you really think about it, what you're doing, taking 30 minutes out of your day, you can be saving a life. And that is what we're doing on our mission. And like I said, again, thank you for helping me try to get that word out and just spread the mission and get more donations.
Absolutely. I started giving blood about 15 years ago, and I did it at the Roswell store. So I would go there, and then I graduated to platelets. Why don't you share with our viewers, what's the difference between giving blood and giving platelets? So between giving blood and giving platelets, it's a different procedure. When you give blood, whole blood, we're taking 1 pint from you. Giving platelets, you can get 2 pints of blood from that. So the process is a little bit longer, but as I say, it's double the donation. And you do have to meet a few additional requirements in order to give platelets, just because we are taking a little bit more from you, but it's still no stress on your body. You're still good after you finish. So it's really no worries there. Yeah. So if I could give platelets, I would, but because of my height, weight, I'm not eligible. So like I said, that's one of those things that we have to take into account when we're doing that. That's good to know, because I know when I started giving platelets, you can't give as often with platelets. So share with our viewers what that means. Like, how often can you give blood and how often can you give platelets? Just general. You don't have to be. So you can give whole blood every 56 days. So generally every other month. With platelets, you can give every 112 days. So it's really, we're going ahead and getting those 2 pints of blood from you at one time. So you're doubling the amount of time between donations. So if you do give on a regular basis every 56 days, you'll generally give about 6 times a year. But if you do platelets, you're giving about 3 times a year. Okay. And platelets, so we're talking about your mobile van that's going to come over to Overture in the fall or sooner. That is only whole blood, correct? No, our bus actually is equipped with what we call a double red machine. So they will offer that service as well, whole blood and platelets. Okay. And then if I correct me or help our viewers, platelets, it's about an hour process versus, what's the difference in the time? So the time difference, it's about 45 minutes to an hour versus whole blood is about 30 minutes. And when I say 30 minutes, that's 30 minutes from beginning registration to the very end when you're sitting at the table having your snack. And a lot of that depends on how well you are equipped to donate that day. So we do ask, before you donate, prepare your body. Make sure you're eating your red meat, your beans, your leafy green vegetables, prunes, drinking plenty of water. You want to be very hydrated, and you want to start that before the blood drive, the day of the blood drive, and still the day of the blood drive as well. Drink plenty of water, and that will determine how well you are on the bed. If you're hydrated, get on the bed, the blood's just flowing. Versus if you're not hydrated, then you'll be with us a little bit longer. So yeah, prepare your body. That will get you out of there quickly as well.
Well, that's a good explanation, Veronica, because I think when people think of hydration, there's kind of they don't know what that totally means. I mean, they know what it means, but it's more important when you're giving blood to make sure you've hydrated your body. And is that because the body requires hydration when you're giving blood, or just the body generally always needs hydration?
Well, the body always needs to be hydrated, okay. But when you're giving blood, especially because you're about to lose a very small amount of your blood, you just want to make sure that you're not sending your body into overload. So you want to make sure that you're well hydrated. So once you do give that pint, you still feel in good spirits. You're still feeling well. We don't want you to not drink enough water and get sick.
Yeah, I mean, it's so good. I was at breakfast this morning, and so I was telling them that we were going to do a podcast. And so I said, "Have you given blood before?" And she goes, "Oh yeah, years ago." And she said, "I couldn't give." This is 20, I don't know how many years, a lot of years, because she was taking medication. Is there any requirements? Because senior citizens do take a fair share of medications. What would we need to be prepared for as we're talking about, the mobile date? What would the residents need to know? Is there any restrictions on types of medications?
So if anyone has a question on a specific type of medication, they can always give us a call at 1-800-RED Cross and just let us know what type of medication it is. Okay. And we'll be able to look that up and see if it's on the deferral list. Okay. If you don't have time to do that ahead of time, we do also have what we call Rapid Pass. Rapid Pass is basically just getting your health questionnaire before you get to our professional, and it will also have a list of medications or travel places that may defer you. But I would say if you are concerned or have any questions, to just call ahead of time, because we would just hate for you, to come out and be disappointed if you can't donate.
Totally agree. And we'll put in the show notes the 1-800 number for people to be able to call ahead, because we want people that, they're going to want to give, but they also, if all of a sudden you get up there and you're excited about giving, and they said, "I'm sorry, you're taking XYZ," they're going to be disappointed. So that's good to know. What do you think what do you call your position again?
I am an account manager.
Okay. As an account manager, what kind of stories or a story you could share with our viewers that really touched your heart? I mean, maybe in the last couple of years, or anytime, but just because I love the idea. You don't think about getting, a needle and getting the blood. You think about who it's going to help. So anything you could share with our viewers about a good, positive story that they can remember?
So one of the things that I love about what I do is actually going to the blood drives and connecting with the donors and just listening to their stories and why they do what they do. We have a long time donor who didn't know anything about blood donation, but his son was in the hospital, needed blood. He was down and out talking to the doctor and was like, what can I do? I'm a parent, and in this very moment, I'm powerless. I can't help my child. And the doctor told him what he needs to do: look into blood donation, look into hosting blood drives. And he connected with us. And from that point on, we've had a partnership for years. So that's one of the things that I love, just hearing those stories, like, how did you come to do this? And that was one of those that just always sticks out to me, just to know that we were able to help him in his time of need and help him be able to keep his son alive. And now he's in turn helping us keep more people alive as well. So yeah, I just love going out hearing those stories, and that's really the thing for me. And I can be a big crybaby.
At some point. Hey, so. Look, I'm just going to tell our viewers, I can be too. I actually carry a straw, because when I had a stroke, the emotional sides of the brain was affected. So either I'll laugh out of control or I'll cry out of control. And I've been on business Zooms, and they would say something that would hit me personally, and all of a sudden my voice went, and you start tearing up. And if you can't get oxygen to your brain, then you absolutely start crying. Now, I carry let's see if I have it. I carry a straw in my pocket because, here it is. So see this little red straw?
I see that.
It's a big one, but it helps me. So if you were to tell me a story that really touched my heart, I would tear up, and then I couldn't talk. Now, if you're on a podcast and you can't talk, there's not much help. You gotta be able to talk. So I know the emotional part has to have an effect on your heart, because you're doing something very special. So how did you get into service work and servicing like you're doing now? What motivated you to do it?
So even before I came to the Red Cross, I knew the mission, and I knew that it was always something that I wanted to be a part of.
Right.
I started out in the lab, actually. And my thing was, I'm going to just keep growing, keep moving, get to the place where I want to be, and do this job that I know I would love to do. So after about three promotions, I actually got here where I am now doing what I'm doing. So I have no problem with starting from the bottom to get, to where I need to be. So that's how I got here. And every day I love so much what I do. I love the impact that we're having on the community, all of the services that the Red Cross offers, working with my sponsors, working with the donors. And I know this may be a little bit off subject, but we also work with elementary schools, high schools, colleges. Mm-hmm. We were just able to give out scholarships to some of our colleges. That, and one of my colleges actually made the top 10 list in the country. So nice. I was very, very, happy with that. That was one of my tear moments. So
yes,
I absolutely love what I do, because I know the impact that we have.
Well, it's evident. And I remember the first time I talked to you, I could tell. I mean, I've been doing this. Well, I call myself, I've been in the people business for a lot of years. So we call them in our business dolphins. And those are people that give. And so dolphins look after dolphins, and they're always giving. And you find people like yourself in work that are serving and giving. So it doesn't surprise me that you've moved up through the ranks, because you got in it for the right reasons. You wanted to make a difference, and you're out there serving. So I'll tell our viewers, remember Varonica Richardson, because you're going to see her at the top, and I'm going to help you get to the top, because podcasting is really popular these days. So once people understand a person's heart, they want to help. So we're going to do everything we can over in our senior facility. And also, I always tell people, because they'll say, well, I don't really do that much business with seniors. I say, it doesn't matter, but seniors have kids, and kids are a little younger, and they live in different places. So you're probably going to get a lot of people go, hey, would you do one here? Would you do one there? And just like, I don't remember her name, but when I gave it to school over there, and I don't remember the school name, but the girl that took care of me, she was wonderful. Wonderful. And I spoke to, I think, your counterpart over there. and I want to say Ackworth. So whoever's your Ackworth person. But the reason I say that is I have never had a grumpy Red Cross person. I mean, I never have, because I think after you do it for like a short time, if you're not happy, if you're not have that serving heart, you don't stay. So we never see. Is that fair to say? Would you say something similar to that?
That is fair to say. I think everyone that I work with, we're all professionals. We all know the mission and what it is that we do on a daily basis. And we know what we sign up for. So if that's not something, as you said, if you don't have a giving heart, then this may not be for you. But I mean, for the most part, yes, I would say all of the staff that I come into contact with, they love what they do and offer awesome customer service, professional. We know what we're here to do and we're here to serve.
And I get chill bumps when you just said that, because I'll tell you, I play golf. I have a golfing podcast. I'm competitive. So the fact that you told me about a gentleman that did real well for you, my brain goes to, I'm going to beat him. So you're going to be so busy with leads and referrals that you're going to probably say, Pete, or you might say Golfer Pete, slow me down. I can't handle all the referrals. And then I'll slow down a little bit until you catch up. But
I love it.
I will guarantee you're going to be busy once we do the first one and they see how wonderful giving blood is. Because, I know what I wanted to ask you. So how did COVID affect right today? Let's just say today. Have you seen a upswing of people giving blood since COVID? Like, explain I know it affected everybody, but share with our viewers updates on what you're seeing in the Red Cross as far as giving blood in your area. Have you seen any difference?
So during COVID, we did have a lot of sponsors that we lost just because they transitioned to work from home. Some of those places shut down. So we were really scrambling, trying to find sponsors or places to just let us come in and host blood drives. And we did have quite a few that showed up for us, and the donors during COVID were absolutely amazing. I think that everyone really saw the critical need that we had. So they really showed up for us. We had it's just beyond words how much the community showed up during COVID. Now, I will say, since things have pretty much calmed down some, we have started to see a decrease in the amount of donations. I think during COVID, everyone was like, hey, Red Cross needs help. We need to get out there. We need to help them get this blood to the hospitals. But now that we're kind of settling into that new norm, we've seen a decrease in the donations, and we're trying to figure out ways to get those donors back and, just get that support back. We are slowly seeing it come back, but, that's why we're still out here continuously working with people like you, new sponsors that's like, hey, I see you're still not back to normal. I want to help. So that's where we are now. Things are looking better, but still not the best.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think every business everybody has a COVID story. I mean, that's given, but every business is now adjusting to the new norm, and where that's taken their business depends on who they are. And I always encourage our viewers, everybody's busy. There's not a person out there. You can't run into a person and say, oh yeah, I'm not busy. I need to be busier. Everybody's busy doing whatever they're going to do. But you know what? Priorities are so important. When you can understand what you do and how you impact lives, it's almost like, do you watch TV for an hour or do you give blood? Now, I know that's not but I'm just saying that I want our listeners to really, and viewers to understand, set a priority. Come on out to the mobile unit here at Overture and probably meet Varonica, because I'm sure you're going to be here, because we're going to do a lot of them. So we'll make a permanent parking place for you or something where you guys can get your van in and easy or something like that. I don't know. Maybe we'll assign something that says that this is going to be on a regular basis, because we are pretty much located right next to Academy Sports. We're right behind the QT. We're right off Barrett and Cobb Parkway. So we're in a pretty busy area. So tell me, do you do any what's your commute? Well, before I do that, our listeners always want to know, when you're not working, what do you like to do? Like, what's your hobby, or what do you like to do?
Well, I have 2 very active sons that are involved in all types of sports activities. So, yeah, so I don't have activities for myself anymore. When I'm not serving the community, I'm serving my sons. Right. So that's what I do in my free time. I try to get, maybe an hour in on a Sunday just to, chill out, unwind, and relax myself. Read a book. I love documentaries, so if I can, squeeze in something and watch any type of documentary, I'm doing that. But for the most part, it's something with the kids.
Yeah, that's so good, Varonica. I know, my neurosurgeon, he had a 6 and a 4-year-old. And so we got to talking about amazing golf, because in my conversation, I bring it up a lot because I love playing it. So I asked him, I said, do you play golf? And the first time he was about to answer. I said, hold on for a second. Can I answer why you don't? He goes, well, yeah. And I said, you're a perfectionist, and you're a dad, busy, very busy with young kids. He goes, you're exactly right. And I said, let me make a suggestion. Take your oldest to Topgolf and just hang out with her. Just hang out with her for a couple hours. So he did. Now his 4-year-old is wanting to go. So even though he's a busy neuro doctor, he's now finding time to mix the kids with an activity that he didn't even really know how to play, but he's enjoying it because he's with his kids. So, as golfer Pete, because I didn't do that. I mean, I had 2 girls, and, we were in activities, but we weren't in golf. And I didn't think about, Topgolf wasn't around back then, so that wasn't an option. But it is a wonderful way to spend 2 hours with your kids and still do your parenting, but yet have some activities that mom can enjoy. And I'm not saying that you have to learn how to play golf, but it wouldn't be a bad thing, no.
And, it's so funny that you say that, the same as our red shirt story. I was actually looking into that on Tuesday, taking my sons to Topgolf. And my oldest, he is out of the state right now. So I was just waiting on him to get back, and we will be going there next week. I love it.
That is great.
But it is so fun. But it's just funny that you say that, because that was already on my radar.
Yeah, it's a funny. I love the stories about that. Now, being in a senior community, I would ask people, have you ever heard of Topgolf? And some of them would say, no, what is it? And I was going, really? You have never heard of it? And they go, no. And because some of them had moved from out of town, places that didn't have one, which is understandable. Mm-hmm. So we're doing an outing in August here for our residents to go to Topgolf. Now, this is what I think. I was talking to Nikki down there at the Howe Mill location, is you guys obviously attract the younger people, because younger people aren't going to play 5 hours on the golf course. It just will not happen. But they will go to Topgolf. So if you want to invite your grandkids and have a place where you can hang out with them and have an activity and just, spend time with your grandkids. And so we're trying to tap into the seniors that want to get with their grandkids more often and do it at Topgolf. So we're doing an event there, and we'll be there just first inviting our first seniors so they get a chance to see it. And the next one was bring your grandson, bring your granddaughter, just come and hang out with the grandparents. Because here at Overture, we always try to think, what can we do that would attract grandkids so they can spend more time with the grandparents? And so that's exciting that you're doing that. And so we're going to see, I told Nikki, I said, you're going to tap into a whole new market of senior citizens that want to hang out with their grandkids. So, yeah, I love Topgolf. It's the most genius concept.
Yes, for those that haven't gone, that is an excellent idea. They're going to love it. I haven't met not one person that said they didn't have a good time at Topgolf.
No,
so, yeah, that's a great idea.
I'll give our viewers this, and it's pertinent to really. I had Ralph Stokes. He's with the PGA Superstore, and so they're you've been to the PGA Superstore and all, have you?
I've never been there before.
Okay, it's like a Home Depot for home improvement. It has everything. So he's been with them 18 years, and so he was invited by a friend of mine that I play golf with, who's Matt Van Poel with the Georgia Golf Association. So Matt invited him to be on the podcast, but here's what he said. It's gone from 1%. More people play off-course golf today. It's like 18 million to 16. So they're transitioning. It started at 1% years ago. Now it's up to 6%. So some of the young people say, well, man, I like this. I think I'm going to go play real golf. Not that his Topgolf is not real. I didn't mean that. But what I was saying is some of them catch the fever. We call it in golf the fever. You get the fever, it's all over. You'll be talking golf to your spouse, to your friends forever. There's a guy in this building, and his name is John. He was in the workout room, and I was walking by, he waved me in. 45 minutes later, we're talking golf. I mean, talking golf stories. And it's like a language in itself for golfers. And he's like 80, I don't know, he's in his 80s. But we were talking about golf stories, his grandson, just things like that we always like. It's a common thing. Golfers love to talk golf. So, yeah, I don't know what got me on that subject, but I want to be respectful of your time. But go ahead, Varonica.
Oh, no, what I was about to say, when I do transition to Topgolf is fun, but I won't disrespect the sport of golf and call it real golf. So when I do get to a real golf course, then we'll have another conversation. Yes. We'll have something else to talk about.
Yeah, and it really is like my partner, he's up in Canada. He's not a golfer. And so I'll be on a podcast with him and another person, and they'll try to say, well, Jeff, you need to play golf. And he goes, look, golf is not fun for me. It's painful. Playing out of the woods and hitting balls. I've done it a bunch of times and it hasn't clicked. I'll be waiting for you in the 19th hole and we'll talk and have some fun after the round. So I'm not saying golf's for everybody, but it is very enjoyable for the ones that give it a shot. So right. I don't want to, this is about Red Cross. This isn't golf, but you're golfer Pete. So I'm going to bring it up, and we're wearing red. I'll tell I know why you're wearing red, but I'll tell my Kennesaw happenings why I'm wearing red is for Tiger. I mean, I wear red when I play golf all the time. And so I've now been wearing red for years. And so because of my mentor and idol, Tiger Woods. I mean, he would wear red on Sunday, and man, you talk about somebody that could focus and play golf. Whoo! I mean, that's history, but he's incredible. So that's why I'm in red. We know why Veronica's in red. So I promised you I wouldn't make this too long, and because you got a busy schedule. So Veronica, thank you very much. And do you have anybody you think that has a big heart in the Kennesaw area that would be a good guest for our show? Do you have anybody off the top of your head? I only asked for one person because I want to just one person that might be a good guest.
Off the top of my head, I cannot think of anyone. I will say we just recently underwent territory redesign, and basically what that is our territories got flipped upside down. We switched accounts and all of this. Our zip codes got realigned. So Kennesaw is still fairly new to me, and I'm still finding a lot of my contacts and everything. But I will definitely keep that in mind. If I do run across someone that I think would be a great guest for you, I'll definitely keep you posted on that. Yeah,
that's awesome because I know a lot of people in Kennesaw. So here's a good thing for you to do. Golfer Pete's LinkedIn group, go in and introduce yourself. Just say, hey, and just say who you serve, and I'll connect you with some people in this area. So you'll have more sponsors than we have golf balls at Topgolf. So,
I love it. Love it. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay. Well, thank you. I'm going to always give you the parting thought. What can you share with our viewers before we wind down?
So just before we go, and I just want to start off by saying thank you for having me and giving me the opportunity to even speak on what it is that we do, and you for being a partner to us. Like you said, everyone's busy. Everyone's busy. Everyone has a million things going on. But if you could just think back to, if you know a person that's had a blood transfusion, cancer, a mother that, had a baby, just any of those things. So where it could be trauma. It could be you need that blood. What you do by taking out that 30 minutes to an hour out of your day, you could be the difference in saving someone's life. I know a lot of us, fear of needles. I hate needles. Absolutely. I have the smallest veins in the history of veins, but we're professionals at what we do. After that initial prick is over with, you really honestly don't even feel it. It's like a pinch. I know that's really a common fear of people. But then when you look past that, you're saving a life, just by giving that 1 pint of blood. So I would just say, if you find it on your heart to give, if you can't give, spread the word, tell your kids, your grandkids, someone else in the community, because a lot of times what we hear is, I've never donated because I've never been asked. So if we can just get the word out there. If you can't do it, spread the word, get someone else to do it in honor of you. So like I said, thank you. Thank you for joining us on our mission, partnering with us. And I look forward to everything that we're going to do in the future.
I usually give my guests the parting thought, but that's probably the best parting thought I've ever heard. I mean, I hear a lot. So I tell you what, this is a golfing term. I teed it up and you hit a drive straight down the middle, 300 yards. That was awesome, Veronica. Yes.
Thank you.
I mean, because it's from the heart, and just the way you shared that, my gosh, I'm getting chill bumps again, because it is about just what you said. So thank you for taking the time. And you're going to be looking at Golfer Pete as your number one sponsor in the Kennesaw area. We're going to keep you busy.
I'm so ready. I know Kennesaw is an area that we're really trying to get into. So with your partnership and with your help, I'm confident that we'll get that done. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, we're going to have some fun and save some lives.
Yes.
Thank you, Veronica. We're going to thank you for our viewers for listening and being a part of Kennesaw Happenings.